State of Decay is offering big ambitions for both fans of zombies and the Xbox Live Arcade. Open world zombie survival hasn't really been tried on consoles, and Undead Labs is hoping they can bring that idyllic vision of zombie survival in a $20 package. So what's the verdict on State of Decay? Let's find out.
Holy shit, are you okay?
You mean aside from being lost in the woods, attacked by psychopaths, and watching two of my best friends die? Yeah, I'm peachy.
There's not much in the way of story in State of Decay. You are dropped right in the middle of a zombie outbreak, and it's up to you and a band of survivors to make it out of Trumbull County alive. Sounds generic? It is. There is a main quest to follow with an ultimately unsatisfying outcome, but the developers were clearly focused on immersing players in the world through the gameplay. The open world is fairly large, and the design of the game makes for a rather addictive experience. On top of the aforementioned main quest, you are constantly given something to do. Survivors are always in need of rescue, infestations need to be cleared, and resources must be gathered to upgrade your home base. In addition, each playable character has a full leveling structure, and to keep you from strictly using a single survivor, you're going to have to switch between them to let each character rest or recover from injuries. The actual gameplay, however, doesn't fare as well. The driving is decent enough, but melee combat is fairly clunky. It's no Dead Rising 2. There are guns available, but they aren't that much more fun to use than your melee weapons. The combat is basic, if rather mindless, but finishing moves can be pretty satisfying. Stealth is always an option, but it won't efficiently get you from mission to mission or properly deal with infestations. Given the subject matter of surviving against seemingly impossible odds, State of Decay is just too easy. There's very little tension as the game never becomes progressively harder, nor do resources become significantly more scarce. There is a permadeath element in place for all characters, but unless you get just a little too cocky with a low-level survivor, don't expect many deaths. There is a set amount of time to complete missions, with the exception of those from the main quest. However, you almost always have enough time to make everyone happy. You're almost never forced to make tough decisions between who to save or help, and even then, the consequences for not completing optional missions are generally pretty minimal. But maybe State of Decay's most disappointing aspect is its presentation. If you haven't noticed by now, this is an ugly, ugly game. Textures are muddy, animations are janky, the frame rate stutters, shadows are blocky, and objects pop in constantly. You name a technical issue, State of Decay probably features it. Some glitches are game breaking, crashes can occur, and during one lengthy play session, the main quest would only appear after I exited the game and restarted it. The best thing I can say about the game technically is that there's practically no loading. The sound generally fares better, the music is pretty good, and the sounds of gunfire and the crunch of a melee finisher are satisfying, but dialogue is recycled over and over again.
Oh, you know, stuff. Oh, you know, stuff. Oh, you know, stuff.
One could justify these grievances since we are dealing with an open-world action game on the Xbox Live Arcade, which is extremely ambitious, but State of Decay is still far behind other downloadable titles in terms of presentation. The gameplay is far from the top of its class, and the technical side of the game is unpolished, but it really does come down to the game's structure as its highest selling point. I had to find better weapons, make my characters more survivable, keep collecting achievements, build up my base, and I had to keep killing more zombies. Despite all of my grievances, State of Decay is still enjoyable. It lacks a lot of polish, but all of its elements come together in a largely satisfying package, even if surviving the zombie outbreak isn't as challenging as it could have been. It's strangely addictive, and if you're a fan of the idea of zombie survival, you should at least try before you buy.
I'm almost home.
Got anything good?
Yeah, got you a pony. But then it tried to eat me, so I shot it in the head.
That's just disturbing on so many levels.